When I was born, around that time, an average Chinese, an average South Korean, and an average Indian had the same quality of life. Same per capita income. Aur aaj? You know the distance across between these countries? Today, South Korea is around 12 times richer than us. And I mean per capita. Forget about the size. Per capita is what matters. China is around 5 times richer than us. We have grown. So I will isolate our growth. I'm not trying to discount it, but I'm trying to tell you a very important thing, that economic growth and prosperity is not some random theoretical construct. It's a real phenomenon that happens as an outcome of policy. So the policies that you make will mean what are the trajectories we are ensuring for our future generation and ourselves. And it is not a very long-term concept. It's a real time. It happens within generations. Like I'm saying, it's my lifetime. If you look at Indian growth, this is what it looks like. It's very impressive. The point to note here is, if this is the growth of the per capita income, what do you see in this graph? Do you see a point of inflection? Meaning, when did we break away from the long-term growth path that we had, and we actually started to see what is commonly called exponential growth? 91 is what comes to everybody's mind. But what did we do in 91? In 91, we basically changed the rules. We said, let's dismantle this license permit Raj, and let's allow private sector to basically come into many different segments of the economy. So rules were changed. But changing rules by themselves, while they are very important, they are almost a necessary condition, they are not sufficient. If you stare at it, you will see that the point of inflection where you break away is around 2000. And why did that happen? Because after the rules were relaxed and reformed, then came the phase of NDA 1. This is Vajpayee time, when you saw the country make very significant investment, capital expenditure into infrastructure, into connectivity. You had energy sector reform. India used to be energy deficient until then. From then onwards, we went into becoming energy surplus. Now imagine, this is energy. Energy is at the core of every sector, everything. Energy is the basis of it. So the reforms led to that. Think of the telecom reforms. When you think telecom, the noise in the media is corruption, this, that. Strip away those parts. Those are there. Those are other reasons to be concerned. But the big telecom reforms meant every part of the country started to circumvent the old system, and you started to see improvement in connectivity through mobile telephony, right? Your golden quadrilateral, the road network started to be expanded. You saw huge reforms within the airline sector. This was the beginning of low-cost airlines. Most of you look young, but we are coming from the time when most of us took our first flights when we were well into our teens. Today, everyone flies. And it's not because we can afford it. We can also afford it because there is so much competition that the prices then crash. Eventually, competition is good for people, consumers. So I often say that competition is to prices that gravity is to apples. And reforms ensures more and more competition. Level playing field is what reforms are mostly about. So you have to, public policy making is a lot to do with inducing good practices, inducing competition, right? This is India's growth path.